Welcome to Home Plate. I'm Colin Lacey alongside David Boggs. And as opening day kicks off today, with the new faces and new ballparks, we're gonna talk about something that's been around for a couple years now: instant replay. As most of you know, instant replay is only allowed to be reviewed on home run calls, fair or foul, fan interference, and whether the ball went over the fence or not. So, what's your take on instant replay, David?
Well, as you mentioned, instant replay has only been used about 123 times since it was first used in September of 2008, and it has.
Many people think that instant replay should be broadened to fair or foul calls on boundary calls and balls and strikes, or safe and out at bases. What's your take, David?
Well, personally, I think that it's very good where it is right now and that it should not be broadened. I think it has significantly impacted many games, but if it's broadened, it would seem to take away the freedom of the game of baseball.
That's the argument of many people around the game. They feel that the human aspect of the game is a huge part of baseball as it is today. Although some calls seem to decide games, some meaningful, some not so meaningful. One that jumps out in my mind is a game that took place in Florida last year. Hard hit ball down the third base line, clearly fair. Umpire calls it foul, and on that would have scored the winning run for the Marlins. And granted, that doesn't make any impact on the playoff situation of the game. It certainly does factor in somebody's season.
Yeah, and really close games like that are impacted by one particular play that they might not have gotten wrong. It really impacts the team's morale and their confidence and just how they'll play the next couple of days. It really has a big impact.
Yeah. I personally think that it should be replayable on everything except for balls and strikes. I think too many calls are disputed, whether it's a ball or strike, by managers, and that would just take so much time in reviewing one pitch every inning or more. And that would just take way too much time. Here's some video footage of Ryan Braun called home run and then turned out to be a triple. Long shot by Ryan Braun to left center field. Nigel Morgan makes a good job of trying to get the ball off his glove, lands in fair territory, which should be the ball in play, but the umpires call the home run.
Get it up to.
Morgan clearly upset that the call was made as a home run, because he knows that it hit off his glove and then back into fair territory without going over the wall. Manager of the Washington Nationals, Jim Riggleman, comes out, and Morgan does a great job of getting up, timing the ball, tips off his glove, hits the wall, and then comes back into fair territory. As you can see there, it hits off the wall. The umpires converge at the mound, and they decide to go take a look at it as Ryan Braun celebrates a home run, which would have given cut the Milwaukee deficit in half of 2-4. One field umpire has to stay on the field to delegate the field, while 3 or less can go into the video booth along with the crew chief. Umpires then come out and award Ryan Braun third base, and the runner on base gets the score. Here, Wes Helms hits something that's called initially a home run, but then awarded second base. Hits off the wall, comes back, does not go in the bullpen. As you can see there, home plate umpire calls it a home run. Pittsburgh manager Jack Russell comes out and tells them to take a look at it, because before this home run the game was tied at 2 apiece, and this put the Marlins up 5-2. As you can see here, hits off the gray sign with the Marlins on it, does not go to the black, which would be a home run. Comes down, left fielder for the Nationals corrals. The umpires go in to take a look at it, as Wes Helms celebrates his 13th home run of the season. The umpires come out, award second base to Wes Helms, and then Gabby Sanchez must come back to third base. Florida manager Edwin Rodriguez argues and eventually is ejected from the game for arguing whether the replay was correct or not, and the umpire's discretion of where the base runners must be. Alright, after seeing those two clips of the runner placed at third and runner placed at second on similar calls, why do you think the decision was made to put the respective runners at second and third?
Well, to be honest, not super sure with the umpire's decision on sending Wes Helms back to second, because I feel that it was pretty much the same situation with Ryan Braun, just not with a runner on base, and he got a triple out of it, so I think Wes Helms should at the least get a triple as well. And to keep in mind, the umpire crew chief that made the call was the same in both clips. Now we're going to take you to a clip in Atlanta where Brian McCann hits one, clearly goes over the wall, but called a double, and that concluded to be a walk-off home run for Brian McCann. Here we take a look at this past year in Atlanta as Brian McCann comes up to the plate, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, 1-2 count, score tied at 6 with the Florida Marlins. McCann drives it to the right field wall, hits the top of the wall, and goes into the stands. As everybody in Atlanta is celebrating a home run, the umpires declare that it hit the wall and then came back into play without going out. McCann and manager Bobby Cox come out and argue with the umpires, which they eventually come and take a look at the ball. As you can see here, the ball hits the top of the wall, the yellow padding, hits the fan in the white shirt, and then comes back into play, which is definitely a home run. The umpires then come out and award Brian McCann a home run, which eventually wins the game for the Braves.